When they let Henry out of the tunnel, he was glad to be working again. But spending a long time in a damp hole will do no engine any good. And after an accident bumping coaches around, Henry was sent for repairs.
"We've no spare parts for you, Henry," the Fat Controller declared. "You will have to use some of Gordon's instead."
"Yes, sir." Henry frowned. But when he returned to work, he noticed that more and more passengers marveled at him in the station. He discussed this one night with the others at the shed. "You and Gordon look identical. That's what it is," said Edward. "Ever since you were painted blue, you look like a matched set." The two big engines looked at each other. They couldn't deny that they looked almost identical. "I suppose we do," Henry considered. Gordon smiled.
"You certainly look the part. A proper express engine at last. But you're too quiet," he added. "I'm always making spectacular departures with my express. They come out in droves to see me."
Henry wasn't sure what to say. He had never minded his quiet morning train, and neither had the passengers. "That's nice, Gordon."
"Oh, but it is," Gordon boasted. "Even Sir Topham Hatt comes out to see. It's just the way to do things. You should give it a go, Henry. You'll feel a better engine."
Henry was rather impressed by Gordon's words. The Fat Controller had never come to see him off in the mornings. The next day, Henry sat at the platform. He was making lots of steam and was eager to leave. People crowded around him. He looked very smart and felt confident. The guard blew his whistle, and Henry started with a rapturous bellow of steam, smoke, and soot. The Fat Controller did indeed come out to see Henry, but he quickly dove back inside, out of fear of being hit with flying soot coming from Henry's funnel. Gordon was right. Just the way. Just the way. His fire burned nicely, and he felt very important as he thundered along. "Right on time, right on time," the coaches sang. "We'll be on time, we'll be on time," Henry whistled. Passengers, plate layers, porters, and passers-by all turned to watch him. "Hurry, hurry, hurry," Henry whistled, trying to be like Gordon. At each stop, he would arrive and leave in style. But soon came trouble. Henry began to feel short of steam. The powerful departures were wearing him out. "I'll be fine. I'll be fine," he wheezed. "I just need a strong puff. That'll set me right." But it didn't. He found himself going slower and slower and slower. He hadn't any more steam left to give as he came to a lame halt in the middle of a forested area. It wasn't long before passengers started complaining. Some climbed down from their coaches, stomping in droves towards the engine and his crew. Poor Henry hadn't the steam to say anything. The guard called for help before pacifying the passengers and sending them back to their seats. As things grew quiet, Henry looked at the trees next to him. "What was I ever thinking, trying to be like Gordon? Didn't make me feel better at all." He continued to observe the flowers and wildlife. "It's peaceful," he thought. Henry felt strangely comfortable here. He wished he could stay here all day. But the calm wouldn't last, for Edward soon clanked into view. "Not to worry. I'm here to bring you home," he whistled happily. Henry couldn't whistle, so he just smiled back instead. Edward soon brought Henry back to the shed, where the Fat Controller was waiting for him.
"Well, Henry, seems you've learnt what it's like to be good. But being a volcano on rails doesn't suit you. Your system isn't right for it."
"I know that now, sir. I won't let it happen again, sir."
"I'm glad to hear it. And I should be glad not to hear you making such a noise like that ever again."
"Don't worry, sir. I'll be enjoying my quiet mornings from now on." As the Fat Controller left with Edward, the sheds grew quiet again. Henry smiled and closed his eyes as his firemen raised steam once more. The bigger blue engine was happy to be a quiet engine. No booming whistles, no blasts of steam, leaving at his own pace. Just the way he and his system liked it.